Lead generation can get your business to multi-seven figures and beyond. If you're a business owner or an aspiring entrepreneur, then today I'll show you exactly how. If you're currently making less than 100 grand a year with your business and revenue, then usually that's because you don't have a system that gets you enough clients in the first place. Word of mouth is probably not a thing yet, and so you just need something to get more clients so that you actually have enough work for your business. That's probably the main issue you need to solve. But beyond that, the clients that you do tend to get, they're probably usually low quality. They don't want to pay you full price, or they might not be the right fit. Next to that, you probably don't know that much about entrepreneurship, let alone how to grow your business more efficiently. So these are all things lead gen can solve. Now let's take a look at the next level, which is like if you're making less than 500 grand a year in revenue. Let's say you're making maybe 300,000 in revenue with your business every year. Then probably at this point you already have some word of mouth going. In fact, it's probably working well for you, the word of mouth, but they're not always coming consistently, and you need to hope that people will refer you. Aside from that, the work that you do get from the referrals the quality tends to be random. It's not always as good. And the main problem that business owners face here is that just word of mouth, it's coming in for them now. And so they feel like they can survive and they don't need to actively reach out to clients all the time. But the problem is that it's making them comfortable and it's not getting them to grow their business further, because word of mouth, it's not really a system for growth. It's just a system to keep you alive. And so, you need to think further if you want to be more ambitious with your business. Now, let's say you're below 3 million a year in revenue with your business. Let's say you're making maybe 1 million a year, 7 figures. Then probably you already have like a system in place. You're getting mostly good work here and there, but you probably still struggle to consistently attract the highest quality clients. And at this point, once you're at 7 figures, word of mouth is no longer enough to bring you all the clients that you need, let alone the quality of clients that you need. So at this point, you probably already have a system for getting the clients, the marketing, the sales. Probably there tends to be like some system in place there, but there also usually are a lot of leaks in the efficiency. So usually like the ad system, it's not very optimized. The marketers are all over the place. You're working with different people. You might not know that well what you're doing, and your sales cycle might be very long and very unoptimized. So that might be a problem here. Now, with each of these 3 stages, lead generation can come in and really make your business a lot more effective. Let's take a look at how it does that. Most businesses, before they tend to allocate the budget for paid advertising and lead generation, they usually place all their hopes on word of mouth. So let's take a look, let's compare the two, and let's take a look at the pros and the cons. So for word of mouth, obviously the benefit is that it's free, whereas lead generation is paid. All right, so that's one obvious pro versus a con. This is where word of mouth is winning here. Another reason why word of mouth is still currently winning is because the clients just trust you a lot more because they already know someone who's delivered results for you. Whereas with lead generation, it's advertising. People that look at advertisements are a little bit more skeptical. They don't know you, so the client trust is a little bit lower. And that's usually 2 reasons why people, they don't want to switch to lead generation. Here's where things start to get interesting though. And I must say that this only applies when lead generation is done well, all right? So if you work with a bad advertiser, you won't get the results. But let's get into it. For word of mouth, really the problem is you're getting this work on autopilot, but it's not that automatic. Like you tend to hope a lot that you get referrals, and you never really know that you're going to get enough work or the work that you need. Whereas with lead generation, if you pay for good advertising, you will get a lot more stability in the work because you can control it better. You're no longer reliant on people to refer you. That's one benefit of lead generation. Another thing is that with word of mouth, the work that you get tends to be smaller or random, because once a client refers you, they might refer you to someone they know, and they might not have the same quality of work. They might just want to try you out. They might just have like some small thing they want you to fix, and then it's not as efficient time-wise, and the budget might be lower as well. So with lead generation, if you do it well, you can get more control over the type of work you attract, because you can literally advertise for the type of work that you want to attract. So this means you can get a lot more quality of work because you have more control over it. That's the second benefit. Now the third thing is that obviously with word of mouth, growth is really slow. It can take years to build word of mouth. And I must say that word of mouth is always a great supplement to have, but it's not really a growth strategy. Whereas lead generation really is, because you can control the rates which you want to grow at. And if you want to scale things further, you do have that option. You can just put more budget behind it. Obviously, the advertising needs to make sense as well, but you can scale it as far as you want, and you can do that pretty much instantly. Whereas with word of mouth, that's non-existent, or at least like a lot slower. So in order to visualize things a bit better, let's imagine it like this. Word of mouth, it's basically like getting for clients for free, whereas with lead generation, you need to pay for the clients that you get. However, word of mouth can take years to build a system that clients just refer you enough, whereas with lead generation, you can pretty much get clients right away. So imagine that like with word of mouth, once you get the system running, expect to get like 10 clients in the next 6 months. Whereas with lead generation, you could get 10 clients right now. Also, you need to keep in mind with word of mouth, the quality of the work that you get will be random. It's not always as good. People refer small jobs, sometimes bigger jobs, but you don't know. Whereas with lead generation, you can really focus on the quality of work that you want to scale your business. So these are like the comparison and what you can expect from those. Now, as a bonus, if you want to optimize the efficiency of your systems, you need to really think about it in two ways. First of all, the efficiency of your lead system, which could either be word of mouth or you already have a lead generation system in place. The second part is the efficiency of your sales system, which is also important. Now let's take a look at your lead system first. So first of all, you need to optimize your cost per lead. If you pay too much per lead, that's going to make things inefficient. Now, obviously, there's a lot of other factors that are important as well, but generally speaking, we want to get leads at a lower price. The second part you need to take into account is your lead nurture time. So how much time do you spend texting these people, following up on these people, calling these people? If you spend too much time, you need to make things more efficient. The third and most important part of your lead system is the quality of the leads that you get from it. So this is where lead generation can shine, because you can really target the highest quality leads. Now, there's a lot of other things you need to take into account, but generally speaking, you want to try to optimize the quality of the leads that you get. And this is why cost per lead, you need to take into account the cost per leads versus the quality per lead that you get. So sometimes it can be worth paying a little bit higher price if the quality of the lead is going to be better. The fourth thing is the level of stability and control. So if you have word of mouth, you don't really have that. You might have a little bit of stability if your word of mouth is good, but you don't really have control. Now with lead generation, that's still something you need to optimize, because you still need to take into account seasonality, and you still need to think of ways how you can control the flow of work that you can get the best, so that you can get more stability and not just get a burst of jobs one time and just get a burst of jobs another time, but you can get it throughout the year. So this is really all what you need to take into account to optimize your lead system. Now the second part, you're going to need to be aware of your sales system as well, especially if you're doing paid advertisements. Because if you're going out to like 10 people and you're trying to convert 10 people, but you only get 2 people in, then you only have a close rate of 20%, and you need to try and optimize that. Because that's four of every 5 people that you go to, that you spend time with, that you're not getting any returns from. So you need to optimize that. The second part is the length of the sales cycle. So if you spend a lot of time, again, texting with leads, or you spend a lot of time following up on your consultations, calling these people up, hey, what about the quote? Then you need to make things more efficient as well. And the most important part is probably the deal quality, because the more sales skill you have, the better prices you're going to be able to charge for your services, because it's going to be perceived as higher value. And the better deals you can typically make with your customers, because the more they're going to trust you, the more they're going to be willing to let higher quality work be done by you. Now, the sales system is a little bit of a separate part that we're not going to dive too much into in a lead generation video. But if you want to know exactly how you can make your lead system more efficient, if you enjoyed this video and you learned something, check out my next video where I show you more in detail how you can actually optimize the results you get from your lead generation. And I show you exactly in detail how to make great advertisements, how you can make good forms, good landing pages, good following up systems, and all of that. So I'll see you guys there, and I hope you have a great weekend. Cheers.